Next on our custom bath project, installing the lavatory. Coming up on the at-home channel at Buildipedia.com. Bathroom lavatories come in all shapes and sizes, but the installations are all pretty similar. Hi there, I'm Jeff Wilson. Today we're going to install this Kohler cabinet. We've got a top, a sink, a faucet. We're going to make all the plumbing connections, and when we're done here today, we'll have a working lavatory. Now the tools that you'll need for this job, some basic hand tools, some plumbing tools, some silicone caulk, will pretty much get you through the job. The first order of business here, though, is I need to cut some access holes in the back of the cabinet so that the plumbing can come through. That way you can get the cabinet up against the wall. Also, the shelf down here, the hole for the plumbing will need to be widened slightly to give us some access for the drain. So I'm going to get on that first.
First, I'll mark the shelf and the hole locations for the plumbing. I'll cut out the holes for the plumbing with a hole saw, and then I'll enlarge the opening in the shelf with a jigsaw.
Well, everything fits pretty well now, but we want to get the cabinet connected to the wall so it's nice and stable. I'm just going to drill a couple of holes through the back bar here, through the grout line, and into the stud behind. Maybe before you fully tighten the screws, check the cabinet for level. We'll give them one last little tighten here. Now we're going to move on to assembling the top, the sink, and the faucet all together so we can drop them in all at once. Now this countertop is a product called EnviroGlass. It's an 80% post-consumer recycled glass product with an epoxy resin that's poured into molds, and then when it sets, it's ground down like terrazzo. It's really beautiful stuff. But we do need some holes in it. We've already got the sink cut out here. The manufacturer did that, and we were lucky enough to get the manufacturer to also put in the anchors that will help hold the sink in place. But we don't have a hole for our faucet, so I'm going to cut that hole, a 1 3/8 inch hole, using a diamond hole saw, a little bit of water, and some safety gear. Pour a little water on the surface first. This will keep the hole saw from getting too hot. We've got this beautiful sink to install, and it's an undermount sink. So what I want to do first is set it in place and make sure that the hole lines up, everything's looking good. Now you'll notice we've got anchor holes already here, and we've got some brackets that will hold the sink into place once it's there. But we will want to use a bead of silicone caulk around the edge to make sure we've got a nice seal.
With the sink aligned, I'll attach the mounting brackets, and I'm careful not to over-tighten or I could crack the sink edge.
Okay, now we want to install this faucet. I'm going to put a bead of silicone around the hole to keep water from flowing into there, and then we'll just drop it into the hole and attach it with a nut. Now the tailpiece for the drain, and on top here we're going to use a little bit of plumber's putty to work as a gasket for our drain tail here. So what you do is kind of make a little gasket that'll fit in there. Actually, I might just apply it right here, and when the excess squeezes out, we'll just wipe it away. A couple of gaskets here that go underneath.
Now I'm ready to install the top. I put a bead of silicone caulk along the top edge of the cabinet to help hold the top in place. And with a helping hand, we'll lift the top so the sink and plumbing clears and set it into place.
Okay, last couple of things we need to do here is hook up the drain and the supply lines. Now the drain, you'll need a trap and a run to the wall. You can buy these in kits at your local home center. It's pretty simple stuff, goes together pretty easily.
I dry fit the trap to size the piece that I need to connect to the wall. I'll make any glued connections first, then tighten the trap nuts at the end. Working out from the wall, I'll install the short connector piece first. To glue the PVC pieces, coat the edges with the purple primer, then apply the adhesive. The adhesive sets up quickly, so set the piece in place and give it a quarter turn to eliminate any gaps in the adhesive. With the trap in place, tighten the slip nuts.
Last thing I need to do is connect the supplies to my supply valves. These have rubber gaskets in them, so they just go right on the valve. We'll put the cold on here, then we'll snake the hot over to the other side. Finger tight, and then come back with a wrench. You want it nice and snug, but don't over tighten it, or you could damage the valve. We'll just turn the water on, check for leaks, and then we can reassemble the cabinet. Seems like our drain's doing okay too. Well, looks like we're one step closer to a finished bathroom. I'm Jeff Wilson. Thanks for stopping by, and come back often for more how-to projects on the At Home channel at Buildipedia.com.